All right, I'm gonna do this live. That way we can get this out the way. So I saw this video by Abby Martin of the Empire Files, and it's very depressing and disheartening. But there's a fuel dump, uh, and this is at the Joint Base Pearl Harbor in Hickam. This is Red Hill Well in Oahu. Contamination, and basically this has been poisoning people for a long time. And basically the Navy has ignored it, this and that. Now, finally, now according to Empire Files, that they have their bias, so I'll try to uh, open things up a little bit. But basically, people have been they've gotten petroleum contamination. Is it they can smell it in the water. This is how bad it is. This is even worse, I would say. Dare I use that term? But I'm going to be hyperbolic and say it. I'd say it's worse than what's going on in Michigan. It's awful. I can't really describe in words what is happening with this. I don't take this with a grain of salt as well, but show a history of fuel leaks plaguing Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam past decade. Recent leak occurring 11 days before the Navy announced it had discovered contamination. Another aspect, though, is that Board of Health for Hawaii has come out and said, "Hey, you need to do something about this." And obviously, the Navy has run tests and they failed these tests numerous times. Nothing has been done. This has been pushed under the rug. Board of Water Supply shut down the Halawa Shaft, Oahu's largest water source, on Thursday, likely source of the contamination. Carlos Del Toro, Secretary of the Navy, Deputy Commander of the U.S. Fleet, confirmed petroleum leak is the cause of the latest breach. Latest breach. The situation we're in today is completely and totally unacceptable. The military has offered all service members and civilian employees living near the base notice, not anyone that lives in places like Iroquois Point. You'll notice there's another video that was done by the Empire Files that talked about a family where basically someone brushed their teeth and had a shower, and it felt like they were on fire. I wish I could be more upset. I really do. But this system has made me numb. And I realize that, as I've said before, is that overall being angry as an American citizen is impotence. Unless you are willing to take that extra step, and I'm just going to Fed post here, but I'm going to do it nonetheless. If you aren't willing to take that extra step and go off the grid and stop getting yourself involved with this system, then there's no point. I'm just going to Fed post and say that, but I think that's the truth. Situation we're in today, it's completely and totally unacceptable. Military has offered all service members and civilian employees living near the base the opportunity to get alternative housing and converse. Said they are now covering the cost of hotel rooms for more than 700 people. But for people that live in Iroquois Point and for regular civilians, not civilian, you know, no civilian employees near Pearl Harbor, not regular folks that may live in, apartment complexes. Navy added it has seen concerns from people in affected neighborhoods who were exposed to the contaminated water and reported symptoms including nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, headaches, and skin related concerns. I think to myself, it would almost be like that episode of King of the Hill where they had like soap in the beer, right? And What they did was they basically switched out the beer that was in the the Alamo beer that they were going to look at the board, and instead they switched it out with the beer that was being there in Mexico. It's almost like you want to divert water to those admirals, this and that, so that they can get that sense. Now, obviously, once again, as Fed posting, it's a bit of revenge and it's a bit of getting your ounce of flesh, getting your pound of flesh, as a matter of fact. But nobody should think that, oh, yeah, well, we should just completely simp for the Navy. I think nobody should. But yeah, the Navy isolated the Red Hill well last Sunday and sent samples out for testing Monday. Oh, boy. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is CNN, so take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, 1,600 gallons of jet fuel from a pipeline inside the storage facility. Investigation determined that the operator error. Oh, they're throwing him under the bus. Yep, caused the release of 1,618 gallons of jet fuel (JP5) from a pipeline inside the Red Hill bulk fuel storage facility. In October, the Hawaii Department of Health cited the Navy for violations related to operation and maintenance of the facility. Records show the fines and violations resulted from a routine inspection from September 28th, 2020 through October 9th, 2020, according to the health department. All this shit happening. And like I said, this is probably when, like I say, before this, the records were hidden, this and that, but I can only imagine how bad it's been. Um, yeah, I guess all I could say is just push for the closure of Red Hill. Um, Compensation is probably not going to occur. Let's just face it. The compensation is not going to occur with this fuel dump. I'll go ahead and drop this link. It's CNN, so take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, this is very disheartening, to say the least. Very disheartening. Um, I really wish I could be upset. I really do, but you realize everything I'll put it this way. You realize how much it takes to keep this system going and how many people are sacrificed to do that. And how many people are hushed up so we can keep this system going. It's disgusting. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be a humanist, this and that, but it is something where I can feel comfortable, and you can as well, for not having to deal with the fallout of this and not having to deal with something that the Navy hid for apparently January 2014 during a refueling of a tank. Navy identified an estimated fuel release of up to 27,000 gallons of JP8 jet fuel. U.S. Navy subsequently drained the tank and collected samples from existing monitoring wells. Results taken in and around Tank 5 indicated increases of hydrocarbons in soil vapor and groundwater. The Halawa shaft pumps 10 million gallons of water per day and delivers water to 20% of Honolulu's water supply. Commander, Navy Region Hawaii has determined temporary lodging is necessary for service members and their dependents and civilians living in housing affected by the current water-related, not all of them. Authorization is limited to active duty service members and civilian employees living in housing who self-certify they are affected. Everybody else, it doesn't matter. I don't really know what else to say about this other than this is a tragedy. This is a tragedy on immense scale and this system simply covers it up. It's uh, it's something that is very sobering. I really wish there was more of a there were legitimate resistance movements that exist in the United States, but they don't. They don't because they really don't have the reach, number one. But number two, they want to have social clubs. They don't want to, uh, while stuff like this is disturbing and the negligence that's existed is disturbing, but also not surprising, unfortunately. Our second priority is to the. Oh, hold on. Okay, so let me read this and make sure. The state's congressional delegation previously asked that the Navy immediately identify, isolate, and fix the problems that allow the contamination to happen. They also urged the governor to request assistance from the Biden administration. Converse said at the Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam virtual town hall meeting that the health and welfare of the residents of our housing is a priority. Second priority is identify, isolate, and clean up the potable water system that the military provides and restore public confidence in that system to get you back to normalcy, back into your homes and drinking clean water. Like I say, there are other people who have talked about this. Like I say, and Abby Martin, you know, does a good job overall. I think that I'm sure that there are disagreements I have, and that, yeah, ultimately she's someone that lives out in Los Angeles and has the freedom to do all that, and her husband, goes and trolls George W. Bush. But who else is talking about these things? Who else? You know, it's disturbing because we're all part of the problem. That's something I'm willing to admit. We're all part of the problem on this. We are all part of the problem of these fuel dumps, this and that. Yes, you should blame the Navy. Yes, up front it is them. But we have all been conditioned to accept this as simply part of the system. And it's something that it's hard to swallow when you have to see it, you know? I'm frustrated and I am angry, but it's something that I'm repeating myself. I'm sorry. I really don't know where else to go with this short little stream, but it's depressing. And I really don't know what to do. The people who are meant to fix this are going to cover it up for as long as they can. And it wouldn't be any different if it was, you know, the British military or if it was wherever else, you know? It's just one of those things where it's like you almost want to be Anprim, but you know that you're so addicted to this system that you know that you're stuck in it too. I think that's all I got. It's not really a fun video, not to say that a lot of them are, but this one is particularly depressing. But I hope y'all enjoy this, or at least I shouldn't say enjoy. I'm sorry. I'm so used to saying that, but I hope y'all were informed by this video and to look up the details of this horrible negligence that occurred by the U.S. Navy on the island of Oahu, and let people know. I know that's more of a thing that I've criticized others for, but learn about this and see. I have no idea. Anyway, see you later. Goodbye.